Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I hope you're all well.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Lovely to be with you again.
It is. It is. It's absolutely wonderful, although my hands and my feet are freezing.
Same. That's why I've got my cardigan on.
I've got a t-shirt under my clerical shirt. I don't normally bother. As you can see, there's only the two of us today. Jean's not so good. The hospital are trying to get her to go up for some tests, but we'll see. I've no Sophie. It's Jean that's missing, not Irene.
No, I'm here, Sophie, darling. I'm here. It's our Jean that's unwell, bless her. So we're asking for healing for her.
We are. I've got no news yet. I don't know what's happening, but when she rang me, she said that she was waiting to see if the hospital could get her up for some tests. Hopefully, it's just a scan and then she'll be home. She won't have to stay in, but we'll see. So today, this afternoon, I thought we can do whatever you would like us to do. I can do a conversation with Irene, much like I did with Jean last night, which would be good.
Yeah, I'm up for that.
Then we'll just take it from there. Any comments, any questions, chuck them into the comments, and we'll get through as many as we can with Irene.
Absolutely.
But like I said, we'll open in prayer and say the Lord's Prayer like we normally do, and I'm sure Irene's got some words for us somewhere. Michael's thinking tap dancing.
Oh, good-o.
I'll put my heels back on and we can do a quick jig if you wish.
I can do a jive. I can do a jive.
Yeah. So let's open in prayer and ask for our spirit friends to step a little bit closer. Could we blend our energies together, please, friends, and say, Great Spirit, Father, Mother, God, we are truly thankful that we were able to gather together in your name today. We ask for your blessings upon these proceedings, and we promise that everything we do will be done with love, honesty, and praise in our hearts. We humbly ask that our spirit worlds come a little bit closer today to support us and inspire us in our endeavours. We promise that when this service is over, you shall have returned to you everything which is rightfully yours, with love, with honour and glory. Amen.
Amen.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Amen. Right, I've been delving in the archives again.
Ooh.
And I found this one, and it's something a little bit different. And this is all about when I was working in a big office, and it was just my take on different things that went on at the time. And I've just called it Working Life. Zombies walking on concrete floors, heels clicking in hallowed halls, people running here and there, hurrying along without a care, squashed up in a small tube train, waiting in traffic jams in different lanes, faceless people hurrying by, none can stop, they have to fly. Hurry, hurry, got to go to work, hoping the boss will give them a perk. No one has time to stop and say, hello, how are you today? Bosses dictating letters, secretaries wishing things were better. Such is a working life, to support a husband or a wife. Letters to post, money to bank, thoughts for the evening, oh my hair is so lank. Must wash my hair ready for tomorrow, but it's the same routine with joys and sorrows. Maybe some things will change, promotions are easily arranged. I'm glad I'm a working wife. I would not change my life to be able to give the kids the best. Very little time to rest. Sometimes new friends are made, and at the end of the day, we all get paid. So I'll forget the relaxation and rest to give my children the very best.
Oh, I like that.
It's something different.
Cool.
Yeah, it's surprising what comes into my head at times. You don't want to be in my brain. It's a mishmash.
No, Tony World's a nice place for me to live in. I don't think I'd like anybody else living in there.
No. Oh, Tracy Jane Husks likes it. Bless her. Thank you, Tracy.
Yeah, a lot of people do. And Jeanette Wilson says she needs the distraction. She's got an 8,000-word dissertation to write about employees dealing with grief in the workplace.
Oh, bless you. Oh, wow. Well, I wish you luck with it, darling.
Yes,
I don't know if
all
it's
the
for the
best for that.
dissertation or the 8,000 words.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yes, good luck with it, Jeanette. Absolutely.
Bit of a tough topic to deal with as well.
Yes.
Yeah, a bit of a tough topic. Yeah.
Yeah.
If we'd been at the caravan, you could have borrowed my cruise bereavement pack that I had when I did my training with cruise. There was a lot of stuff in there about grief and working through grief and things, which, as we always say, grief is hard work.
It is.
Grief is hard work. It's not good. So when did you first come into spiritualism then, Irene?
Oh, when did I first come into it? I was first aware of it at my grandma's knee when I was about 4 or 5 years old. My grandma on my father's side was a medium, and she did a lot, but her speciality was tea leaves. And I was fascinated by, you could drink this cup of tea and the tea leaves in the bottom, and then she'd do the circle and turn it round 3 times and do all that business, and then she could read the leaves. And she started teaching me, because what's that, Grandma? Why do you say that is? And I asked the questions, and she taught me. And by the time I was 5, 5.5, 6, I was very adept at reading tea leaves. I couldn't do it now. I absolutely couldn't do it now. But it was just wonderful to have that endorsement, if you like, from my grandmother. And also she took me through as well the fact that I used to say to her, Grandma, I can see, because my granddad passed away when I was about 4. And I said, my pops is over there. I can see him sitting by the fire. And she said, yes, he's come from spirit. And I started asking the questions. What is spirit? How do we know? And she was very patient, and she taught me very well. And that was my first journey into spiritualism.
Wonderful. I was saying yesterday, apparently my nana used to do it on my mum's side.
Yes.
In the parlour, in the back, in the front room, in the parlour, with all of our little friends, and they'd table tip and do cards and things. It's fascinating.
It is. And I think in those days, as you said, because like I said, I've just watched your chat with Jean. I've just watched it today. And it's like you've both said, and Jean especially, I can go back with my family mediums. And it's strange how my grandma had to work behind closed doors and the curtains had to be closed and just one lamp. But she used to have seances as well. And that, and it was there was only a few people that knew. But we got sort of more and more interested, and then she started taking me around other people's houses with her, and I just used to sit and watch, and I took in everything. It was like a sponge. I was soaked everything up.
Yeah. It is very strange, because spiritualist churches have been around for such a long time, and yet you still had to think it was behind closed doors. And I mean, it's not actually that long ago that Helen Duncan was arrested for witchcraft.
Yeah.
That was the towards the
Absolutely.
end of the Second World War, so 44, 43,
Yeah.
44,
It's
which
nothing, is it?
it's not, and it's not that long ago. But she was just so accurate about that ship that was sunk and the
Yeah.
people that were on it, and it hadn't been announced.
Yeah. And I think before that, there was now, who was it? Was it Arthur Conan Doyle? One of those well-known people that was into spiritualism in the
Conan Doyle
1800s,
was.
and he
Yeah.
brought it forward, and he was the first one to speak out about it, I believe. I mean, everybody knows, again, like you said, with talking to Jean yesterday, everybody thinks that we have these demons and with the horns and the red eyes and everything,
Oh
and
yeah, no.
that is a different side entirely, and I don't wholeheartedly believe in that, but I know a lot of people do, but
Yeah.
up to them. But I like to have my I like my life the way it is. I love my life the way it is at the moment. I'm so contented.
Yeah, it's the most settled I've ever been since we
Yeah,
started doing these online services, and
yeah, absolutely.
I started working with the New Christian Spiritualist Society, and I've been ordained and things. I just feel so centered,
Yeah,
and it's like I found that last piece of the jigsaw, and it clicked,
you
and
found
now
your place. You
yeah,
found your place. Yeah.
and there's just, I know we've said it before, there's just no way, even when we're back out and working, I could stop coming on here as much as I
Oh
can,
no.
and you know, and working for Spirit this way, because I feel this is what they want me to do, because not everybody can go to a spiritualist church,
No,
or
they
there might not be
can't.
one near them. Somebody on yesterday said they were in the States and there's nothing near them, but they tune in here 3 times a week and watch us
Yeah.
sitting and
And
chatting to ourselves and the people in spirit.
and also it's just lovely whenever I come on here and work either at another service, but mainly working with you and Jean, and with Michael helps in the background, because Michael doesn't very often get a mention, but we know he's there and we know he does all the tech stuff, and you know, good for Michael. You know, well done. But I get goosebumps every time I come on here and I'm with you and Jean, and I think this is why it works so well with us three, because we're all of the same mind, and I get goosebumps when I know it's time to come on, and when sometimes we can't do a service, I get so down, and Ed says to me, "What's up?" "Oh well, we can't do a service tonight." "Well, why not?" I said, "Tony's got something on, or Jean's not on," and he went, "Oh well, you know," and I get so really because I just get goosebumps, because I love it. I love doing this.
Yeah, it just feels right, and the group, the congregation are wonderful, absolutely
Absolutely.
wonderful.
Yeah.
And Paul Haig Smith is making sausage casserole. That sounds wonderful, actually. I've not had my lunch yet.
I'll be round later, lad. I'll be round
Yeah,
later.
we will. Yeah, down the A1, and I'll be there. But no, it is, and I do feel that it's given my mediumship a purpose.
Yes.
Because we reach out to these lovely people, and they support us and we support them.
Absolutely, 100%.
And also the spirit people that come through as well, the wonderful. They are lovely.
I know. We get some lovely characters, don't we?
that gentleman the other night that had me giggling and laughing and showing off my new shoes. He was so funny. He really was. So why do you think you've been chosen by Spirit?
Oh, I think that's the $1 million question.
It is, and it's a hard one to answer because, like you said, there's no ego, so it's not about us. But
No,
Spirit have obviously chosen you for a reason.
I think it's a two-halved thing. I think a lot of it is my ancestral background with mediumship. I mean, my grandfather, my grandma who taught me, my grandfather's, he was very, very spiritually aware, and his parents were as well. My parents were, and I know that I believe somebody said yesterday that it skipped generation, but it hasn't with my family. I mean, I'm fourth generation, and Stacey does it now in a different way to me. She's psychic, and so Stacey is fifth generation. And my son Kez, he can do it, but he said, "Mum, I don't want to know. I'm not interested. Don't tell me anything." Fair enough, and I respect that. Just like I respect if I get a message for somebody, especially when I'm doing the physical church, and I'll say, "Can I please talk to you?" or somebody on here, "Can I work with you?" If they say no, that's fine, and I've had that a couple of times, but not very many.
No, Jean's had it a couple of times as well. I have to say at the moment, no, I was going to say I haven't, but I have actually. I was working with a young girl, giving her a reading, and I started describing a gentleman that was coming through, and she just said, "No, don't want him. He can." And I said, "Oh, right, okay, no problem. You can't force the issue."
No, I think
and bless him, he did just walk away, and he just turned and walked away. But it's hard.
I think the other half of it is the fact that I wanted to do this. It's been with me all of my life. I feel as though I was put here on the earth plane to do this. And it's been building and building since I was very, very young. And I just feel that I have, like you, Tony, I have now got a purpose. I am now centered. I am content. I've got a beautiful, lovely husband, just like you've got Michael and Jean's got Stuart. And I'm just so happy and contented because I've come home. When after I lost my parents, well, it was way back in the 1980s. I came back up here from where I was living, and I came back home to Yorkshire, and I walked into a spiritualist church for the very first time in a long time, and I just felt the warmth embrace me, and I felt arms coming round me, invisible arms, and I knew I'd come home, and I knew that was where my life was going to be from now on. So it's a case of two halves coming together as one in that perfect sphere. So
well, that's the thing. That's the same as me, really. I'm happy. I've got Michael. We've been together 24 years, and everything just seems to have clicked, and that it fits, and it's wonderful. And oh, hello, baby.
Oh, is that her? No,
that's Pippin.
Pippin. Hi, Pippin.
Hello,
Oh,
baby
bless
girl.
her.
You come to say hello.
Hello, Pippin.
Hello. She's a real cuddle monster, that one.
Is she? Well, you've got the two halves. Horace is the
This is Russie Ross.
Oh,
this is Russie Ross.
Hello, Horace. Oh, bless him.
Yeah. It's. I saw a question go up and I can't find it now. I know Anne was saying we've helped her a lot since she lost her husband. After 32 years. 32 years.
Yeah.
I can't imagine I really can't imagine how it must feel to lose your loved one. I mean, Michael is my other half. He makes me complete.
Yeah,
And
same as me and Ed.
I'm getting emotional just thinking about it.
Yeah,
I can't imagine. I can't imagine.
I mean,
yeah, but there we are. What do you think is? Where do you think spiritualism's going to go after this whole 18 months we've had of chaos and upset?
I think spiritual will carry on, but maybe in a different form. People are now starting to recognize spiritualism as a proper religion rather than just being on the sidelines. And when I did my census, I was very proud to put spiritualist at the side of religion. But I think that there will be a lot of changes. And I think I'll just briefly, as you know, I'm very, very good friends with Tony Stockwell. And we talked one day about this, and I think a lot of the problem is that the SNU are not 21st century, and they've got to be dragged kicking and screaming into the 21st century to be able for us to go forward. Hence why we have people like yourself doing the Christian Spiritualist Church. And also there's other people out there, there's spin-offs from the SNU, because they have too many rules and regulations that are outdated.
They do.
So
they do.
I do think it'll carry on, but I think as we get more and more people coming into it, it will start changing and be brought into the 21st century, which will be a good thing, because spirit evolved with us. Don't they? I mean, you know, they can't stop in the 18th century and they sort of come forward. And of course, we've lost so many souls over this COVID thing. So, and that's got to be come into it as well.
It has. You're right, because even though, like I said yesterday, that the new Christian Spiritualist Society is a Christian-based arm of spiritualism, we'll welcome anybody, any religion, any race. But yeah, Paul, do spirits say bad things about you, about past grudges and grudges on the other side?
That's a pretty difficult one. Sometimes I dare say Tony and Jean will have a similar response to that than I've got. Sometimes they'll come through because they're angry, and they're angry either at their earth family, or something's happened in their earth family, or they're angry because they've gone to spirit and it's been like turning a light off, you know, so sudden that they don't know. But normally after a while I don't really get a lot of bad angry spirits, because you know, and if they come to me, and I mean, you don't see it on here, but if I do get one that's angry, I'll just say, well, I've got somebody here, they're a little bit upset, and I'll be talking to them in my head and saying that, look, calm down, let's sort it out, don't be angry at me, it's not my fault. And we do it that way. And of course, as you know, I don't use bad language, none of us do, but I don't use bad language in my daily life either. With me, what you see is what you get.
I think, Paul, when people cross, if they had a grudge or were a bit upset with somebody earth side of life, that can stay with them. But in spirit, you get a broader awareness of life, and you see the bigger picture, and you realize that sometimes things aren't as important as they felt to you while you were here. But it's sometimes they do come, like Irene said, if they've seen a situation going on in the family, and they'll get a bit narked about it, and they'll come back and they'll want to say, come on, chaps, what are you doing? I'm going to knock your heads together, and that type of thing. But yeah, people can cross with grudges and be a bit narky with people, but they do see the big picture.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, when you're in spirit, it's a calmer world than what ours is down here. And
oh yes,
you know, and they have their spirit family, and the spirit family will look after them, and they will bring them through, and they will talk to them. And mainly when they come through to us, it's they might still be, like I say, a little bit upset, but if we can keep them calm, then we can get the message across in a nice way. Because I say to them the same as what I said when I was working in the office. You talk to me nicely, I will help you. You swear at me, I will put the phone down.
Yeah.
And I won't have it. But it's just it's just a wonderful thing to do, because my I know I call it a job, but it's not a job, is to help other people understand our religion and what we're about and how we work. And as Jean said yesterday, even now we get called witches and nothing happens and blah de blah de blah, but they don't know us. They don't know our community, and they don't know how we work, not only as people but as spiritualists. So if you want to know, we will teach you. If you don't want to know, then don't say bad things about it, because you don't know what we do.
No, exactly. Understand what we do and where we are. And yeah, Tracy, that's just what I was saying. They come back, and when they've passed, they see the impact of their actions.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they do, on the whole, come back. Like we said yesterday, some people, if they're grumpy when they pass, they're grumpy here, and that's it. Hi, Royden. I hope your mum's still on the mend. Bless her. Royden's mum is in Australia. His mum had a heart attack, and she's been quite poorly, but she's on the mend.
Hi,
Michael.
Matthew. Matthew's on.
Oh, hi,
Hello,
Matthew.
darling. Hi,
Matthew. People are going to get silly for a bit. Our
be
perspective
included.
is based on the
Be
physical
still my beating heart.
Yes, that's it, Michael. You lose all of the materialistic view.
Absolutely.
When you pass. Susie, I saw your comment earlier about building up courage to ring counselling. If you feel you need help, sweetheart, give them a ring.
Yeah, absolutely.
The first step's the hardest.
On your own, my love.
No, the first step is the hardest, and
absolutely. We just try and help everyone in any way we can, and that's why we always say we can either do one-to-ones with just one of us, two of us, or all three of us. It doesn't matter to us, and whatever you say to us away from the live feeds, it stays with us. We don't talk about it. We don't, not to anybody. If you want to tell people, that's entirely up to you, but I think the mainstay of us is having discretion. We have to have discretion, because without that we haven't got trust. So
exactly. And it's we are always here. If you feel you need help, put a message out to either myself, Irene, or Jean, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Lisa Walker. Lisa, when people who have done wrong, they have been nightmares.
Right.
Do you want me to start?
You can if you want, my love. You can if you want.
I'll leave that up a minute. Lisa, when people pass to spirit, if they have done things like that, I said yesterday briefly, it's like, imagine the levels of spiritual existence are like a block of flats.
Yeah.
And there's the garage in the basement and the boiler house and everything underneath. when people pass, they start in the basement with the boiler and the garage and everything, but spirit accept them because they are part of the Great Spirit. They were they were created by God, and they went wrong. They made wrong decisions. What happens is in my experience, what I've been told by spirit people is that they have to work to understand what they've done and where their life went wrong. And as they develop, as they grow, as they acknowledge their sin, because that's the main thing that happens, you need to acknowledge your wrongdoing. You're allowed to progress and move up and be given a little bit more responsibility. But the whole thing is, it's about educating that spirit person and allowing them to see what they've done and to acknowledge their wrongdoing, because but on the whole, yes, we all go to the same place. There's no hell. It's just, I always say hell's here. This is the physical existence, is the trials and tribulations we've got to go through to get to the better life at the end of it. And hopefully some of us will start on maybe level 20 or 50. And we all want to get to that penthouse, like I said yesterday, where there's the swimming pool and the jacuzzi and the sauna and everything, and the waiters with the oil chests handing you your cup of tea on a silver platter.
You wish. You wish. I think Tony's right, but I think the word you're looking for, sweetheart, is they have to atone for their sins on the earth plane.
Yeah, they have to atone for their wrongdoing.
Absolutely. And obviously people that like serial murderers and like the Wests and the Moors murderers, they would have had to go right to the bottom of the ladder, and they have to atone, and each time they atone a little bit more, they step on the next step to come up. You know, but we all get to the top eventually. It just depends how long everybody takes to get there. Right. Someone in spirit who wants to apologize. Right. Well, for me, Jacqueline, if you have somebody that was horrible, I mean, I had a similar situation to this. There was somebody who was very close to me, who was very, very horrible to me while that person was on the earth plane. And then she went to spirits, and she's been through, and she's spoken to me from spirit, and she's apologized because she couldn't see then what she couldn't see now. All it was down to jealousy. I haven't got a jealous bone in my body. I'm not jealous of anything, anybody, what you have. You could have £50,000, you could have 50p. I treat you all the same. If you have a problem with me, that is on you. But if you want to come and talk to me about it, I will sit and talk to you. But I would accept this apology, because once you've accepted the apology, then you can forgive and move on, because you've got to look after yourself.
That's what I was going to say.
Go on, Tony. You carry on then, sweetheart.
No, that's the point I was going to make. That we've all had it where somebody's done something and you carry it with you.
Yeah.
And what I learned at the very beginning of my journey into being ordained was that it creates a burden on you if you're carrying that around and you're not forgiving. What I always say is, you forgive the sin, you forgive the sinner, but not the sin.
Yeah.
And that means you forgive the person because they obviously had something going on in their life or whatever, and they behaved in a certain way that caused you pain, but you forgive them for that, but not what they did, if that makes sense, because it's it's difficult, but you have to release it to allow yourself to move forward. And whether that, like I say, whether that is forgiving the person who transgressed or whatever, but you have to let it go in order to move forward yourself.
Absolutely.
Still bear in mind what they did,
Yeah.
the actions, but the person, you have to let them go. And I think that's sometimes what people come back for, to ask for forgiveness from the earthbound person, to allow them to move on, which when you think about it, is them acknowledging that they did wrong.
Yes.
And by doing that, they're allowed to move on and move forward. Oh, Jacqueline, I hope you meant to share that.
It's not nice that, I mean,
but
that would be very,
I
very
agree
hard.
with what you say, Jacqueline, that you've forgiven her for your sake, but you don't want to hear from her from spirit. That's fine. And she'll accept that. And now she's going to be able to move on with what she needs to do on the other side. And you can move on because you've released it here. And it frees you up. If you can, because anger and hatred and are all negative thoughts and negative energies, and negativity attracts negativity. So if you're carrying this ball of anger and hurt and upset with you all the time, your energy is going to be so low and so flat. So release it, and release it into the hands of spirit, because then they can deal with it and they can take it forward. Sorry, Irene.
No, it's absolutely fine. I was just going to say to Jacqueline, you've taken the first step by briefly telling us this, and you've been very brave to do it on a live feed, sweetheart. Not everybody can do that, but now that you've told us, you can move on, because you will feel like a great big weight has been lifted off your shoulders. And this is where we say, before you can move on, you've got to learn to love yourself and get rid of all the anxiety. And, I mean, I know this is something very, very close to Tony's heart and most of us. There's a lot of young men that are suicidal at the moment. We don't, for various reasons.
Awful.
And it is truly, truly awful. And I was listening to somebody last night on the news. His son took his life 4 weeks ago, and he's left a 3-year-old son because of depression, and because he'd been bullied and things had been said that shouldn't have been said, and they couldn't get to him, that he wouldn't open up to his family. If you're feeling like that, please find somebody, open up, talk to them. Don't let the drugs and everything else win. You are one perfect person, and there's nobody else on this earth like you. So if you have any problems, that's why Tony, Jean and I are here. Even if you don't want to talk to us, please find somebody you can trust to talk to.
Please. It's still, I mean, I did my degree 27 years ago. And at that point, suicide was the biggest killer of men under 45.
And it still is.
And it still is. And that is awful. That is an awful statistic. It's frightening. And the people that have come to me, and the majority of them have been young men that have come to me from spirit, who have passed that way.
Yeah.
And that feeling of, my loved ones will be better off if I'm not here.
That's not true.
That feeling must be awful, to feel that is your only way out of a situation you're in. It's awful.
just put Susie's up, will you, Tony?
Yeah, I've just seen it. Oh, Susie, that is awful.
Trying to get
Oh, God.
You're never alone if you want.
Susie, that is dreadful.
It is.
But I know you said earlier that you were in two minds about ringing a counsellor, but just speak to somebody, please, Susie, and
Yeah,
and open
absolutely.
up and just see if there's a way forward for you. You might find that that type of counselling isn't for you. You might want cognitive behavioural therapy or something else. But please reach out to somebody and just talk.
Yeah.
Because it really does help. It really, really does help. And it might be easier with somebody who's not a stranger as such, but not so close to the situation. Because it's...
Well, again, Susie, it's the first time you've said it. And again, very, very brave on a live feed. We are all here for you. But Tony is a trained counsellor. And I'm sure that he would talk to you and help you work through things, you know?
I'm trained in bereavement care, but I can probably find numbers. I mean, I'm happy to talk. I'm not saying that. I am happy to talk to anybody. And I will work and try and find... a lot of charities, Mind amongst others. They do, yes. A lot of charities, because of the situation we're in, Susie, are doing online chats. So that even might be easier because it's totally anonymous.
Yeah.
But yeah, always happy to talk to somebody. And
I'll say the same to suit you, Susie, is what I've said to Jacqueline. Once you start talking, you will feel like a great big weight has been lifted off your shoulders, and it will make it easy, because you have to get these out, because until you do, you can't love yourself, and you've got to love yourself to be able to go upwards and forwards.
But the one thing I would say
darling.
with my experience with crews, and I went to Doncaster and did a counselling, started a counselling certificate. I didn't actually manage to get it finished, but when you start that type of counselling and therapy, don't be put off, because once you start opening the wounds, it does feel... It feels painful, and a lot of people back off because they don't want to feel the pain. But you've got to work through it, and
absolutely,
you've got to work through it and move forward through the pain. But it can feel a little bit worse when you first start. But don't be put off, Susie, please.
No. Sophie worked in the youth club, and we had a 13-year-old who ended his life due to abuse. Oh, you see, this is something. I just can't comprehend it. I really can't. I'm just
no, but it is awful. And I did see the back end of that interview you were talking about last night, and that poor man, 4 weeks after his son, he was so brave, so brave.
But also,
to come on and talk about it.
Do you think, Tony, that these when you get when there's a note and it says you're better off without me, I don't think they are, because they leave such a hole. There's part of the family missing.
I know, but that is honestly how they feel.
Yeah.
Their loved ones will be better off without them, because they feel like they are a burden. And it's...
Susie.
Oh, Susie.
I don't love oh, darling.
We love you. We love all of the people on our feed. And I'm not saying that flippantly.
No.
But that from what you've described, nothing was about you. It says everything about the two people that were involved, sweetheart. It really does.
Can I just say one thing, Susie? Don't hate yourself. Don't let them win.
No.
Because you hating yourself is letting them win. You stand up and you stand tall and proud, lass, because trust me, you will feel better. You really will. And we don't hate you. We love you, sweetheart. And
Yeah, of course we
you're
do.
always, always welcome. It's
Some people never find out who and what their spirit guides are, Royden. I do, because some of them are family. But to get closer to them, it's about working through your spiritual journey. And as you work through your journey, your guides become closer to you. And what you might find is, like that's happened with me. Jean, not so much. She's got our dad and our brother that work with her, and they stay a lot. But as I'm moving into different areas and the way I work changes, it's not through me, it's through my guides. It just changes. Different guides step in and pick up and help. So your guides can change as they move through. You might have a core, maybe one or two, that stay with you throughout your journey, but they do change, or mine have changed as I've worked forward.
I think they do have to change, because you always have my understanding is that you always have one specific guide from birth to death that stays with you always.
Yeah.
But in between, especially if you're doing spiritualism and mediumship like we do, different areas of your life, you have to move forward with it as you do in your life on earth. So you do with mediumship, and your guides have to go through that with you. So one might be there at the beginning, and then maybe a year, 18 months later, you might have that one go and another one come in. And each time you get another one, they work slightly differently. And some will come and be quite aggressive and let you know that they're there. Others will stand back and come to you gently. You embrace it all. I mean, can I quickly just tell you, it wasn't funny at the time, but it's funny now. Ed and I used to be licensees, and we had a pub, one of the pubs that we had, and he went downstairs to get a sandwich after we'd taken everything upstairs for the night, and he was down there for 2 hours, and he'd got the fridge door open, and he was talking to the fridge, but he wasn't talking to the fridge. He was talking to his spirit guide, whose name was Akeem.
Oh, wow.
And it was very strange. And, I said to him, who are you talking to? He said, that fella in there. I said, what fella? He says, his name's Akeem, and he says he's my spirit guide. Absolutely fabulous. But it was so funny because he was stood there 2 hours talking to a fridge. Bless him.
Susie, you haven't upset anybody.
No, you haven't. It's wonderful and brave of you to share it, sweetheart. Much respect for doing that and for reaching out. So you go ahead and you get the help you need.
Yeah.
And you come and tell us all about it. And we're all with you 120%.
Yeah. I echo everything Jeanette's just said there.
Yeah. Never be sorry. You don't have to ever be sorry again, sweetheart, because this was their fault, not yours. Don't carry that guilt.
You were meant to join today. You really were.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Michael, new guides develop different perspectives. They really do.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
And what I found interesting, Irene, was when I first started, I had clairsentient. So I knew there was a message in my head and it had to come out. And then as my clairvoyance started, a different guide came in to help me with that. Yeah. Then clairaudience came in and a different guide helped me with that. And then this lady came, goodness knows who she is because I don't. And she just developed me into the next level of trust with spirit.
Yep.
And so I've had lots of different guides and they just step away. And I miss some of them because some of them work really nicely with me. But
think of it the other way, Tony. As they've left you, they've gone to somebody else.
They've moved on to somebody else. Yeah.
No, you don't need them anymore. So, and this is what I'm saying. You're always evolving when you're working with spirit, because they bring guides in to evolve with you. And you know how I was when I first walked in and first met you, Michael and Jean, for the first time.
Yeah.
I'd lost my mentor of 5 years very suddenly, and I was absolutely devastated, and I had 18 months away from it. And one night I decided to walk into this open circle that I'd found out about, and who was there but Jean, Tony and Michael, and the rest is history.
It is. It
Tony
is.
was then just starting out. Well, you'd been with Jean for about a year, hadn't you? Then you were
About
still developing.
year and a half or something, yeah.
And I think what surprised everybody more than anything was that not only did I do the opening prayer, I was told to by Jean, by the way, to do the
Yeah.
opening prayer, but I got up and gave this lady a message, and afterwards she came to me when I was talking to Tony, and she said, "Thank you so much, I needed that." And Tony said to me, "Where did that come from?" I said, "It came from spirit,
Yeah.
where all my lovely poetry comes from." And but I will say one thing: it has been an absolute whirlwind, a joy and a pleasure, and so much respect to work with these three lovely people. They really
It
are.
has.
It's been wonderful, and I'm hoping that the journey will continue. No matter where we go in this world, we have a friendship that will always be there.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Always.
It's it has, and I really don't think I would be here doing what I'm doing without, well, I certainly wouldn't be here without the support of Jean or
No.
Irene or Michael. And I
Yeah.
mean, Michael was a skeptic, a complete skeptic when I
Yeah.
first moved in with him. And he's been on the journey with me, and it must be hard when you're not part of that life to have somebody who's aware of spirit suddenly start developing. And yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Royden, good guides and bad guides. I don't think there will be bad guides, because I don't think they would be chosen to be guides if they weren't.
No.
What you might be thinking of is a guide might not fit. They might come to work with you and it might not work because there might be a difference of personalities or ways of working. And the lady that came, that moved me up a step in my mediumship, she was very forceful and very direct working with me. And it would have been easy for me to think, oh no, I don't like that. I don't like that way of working, because I'm quite a gentle soul and I just drift along, so to speak. And I think it would have been easy for me to say, no, I don't want to work like this. But I went with it, and it did move me to a different level with my mediumship. And that's when I started thinking about becoming a minister again, because my life is about service. It always has been. I've always thought about helping people before myself.
Yeah.
And that's just how I am. So she made that move with me. So yeah, soon, Trace, soon. Honestly, we will get Michael on soon. So yeah, it's. I understand what you mean about angels and demons, and I think it's just different energies blend differently. We're really lucky that the four of us, so our energies just blend together.
Yeah.
But you can tell sometimes when somebody's in your circle and the energies just don't fit, and that can feel a bit prickly to me. And it's like, no, I'll respect you and I'll honor you, but you're not, the energy just doesn't fit right. There's a lady I'm thinking of, Irene, where we worked together and the energy was just definitely not right. It just didn't fit right at all. No. You know where I mean?
I think so, yeah. I think I know where you're going with this one, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it just it you know when you
Yes.
walk in,
Yeah.
it doesn't sit right. So you think, I'll do my best and I'll work to the best of my ability with spirit, but it
Yeah.
just doesn't gel. So there we are. So I think that's where you're coming from, Royden, where energies just don't fit and you just don't feel right. And it can be like that with guides.
Yeah.
And spirit. I've had people I've worked with at spirit side, and I've done my best and we got the message through together, but the energy just doesn't. Some spirits come and you just feel like you've put an overcoat on and it's warm and it's cozy and it's lovely.
Yeah.
And others are a bit
absolutely.
like an anorak and it's crackly and it's a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But you do your best and you get through it and you deliver the message. And it is interesting when people say, oh, you're the first person my so-and-so's been passed into spirit for 10 years. And you're the first person to bring them through. And it's the right medium for the right spirit.
Yeah.
And it's like when the three of us are working on screen, I might just get a little bit off somebody and I'll say thank you for working with me and I'll start breaking the link. But Jean or Irene, boom, and it's like bang, 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 and the information's just flowing. And it's because the fit's better. And it's but it's the same. Yeah, go on.
Also, I've had I think I've told you before, Tony. I've been to a church. It was Doncaster. It was College Road in Doncaster, actually, and there was a lady on the front row, and because a lot of people say, why do people take so long to come through? And she was my last reading of the night, and I went to her and I explained everything and I told her everything, and she said, "Can I give you a kiss?" I said, "Not now. We've got to wait till I've finished." And I'd brought her sister through, and her sister had been in spirit for 40 years and she'd never been through. And I always say, it's sometimes a spirit guide will not work with a certain medium for whatever reason. It's no disrespect to them or us, it's just the way things are. And this is why Tony said that sometimes he'll only get a little bit and Jean and I'll go boom, boom, boom. But sometimes it's the same. Jean, I will get something and I just get a little bit, and then Tony takes over and it just flows again. So it works both ways.
It does.
You know, but I think also you've got to have a lot of respect as well. You have got to respect spirit. If you're working with spirit, you have to respect them.
Yeah. I see where you're coming from there, Paul. It, like Michael said here, then it's the wrong church, not the wrong religion.
Absolutely.
Because
yes.
you fit in here with us. So if you go to a physical church, it might be that it's just the wrong group of people.
Yes.
Physical
I
people.
agree.
So
I agree.
try a different one.
Paul, can I where roughly round about where do you live, Paul?
I should know this.
Does he live local?
No. It's is it Lincoln where you live, Paul? I know a well-known medium who's had spirit with her all her life, but
had a very good mentor before
lockdown. She did seem to have spirit. They can.
Yes, I agree. Absolutely.
They can.
Good point, Pam. Very good point.
Yes, I've seen somebody who's
Rushton in North Hands. I didn't think he was that far down, sweetheart.
A gentleman who's worked with spirit, but wanted to be the big, jazz hands, showbiz.
Yeah.
Took it away.
Yeah.
They took it away.
I'll come to you in a minute, Sophie, because I do know there is something in Skegness, but just let me answer this one. I think with spirit, this is why I say you have to respect them, because I always, after every service and before every service and after every service, you've sometimes heard me say it when I'm doing the closing prayer, I respectfully thank you, because if you don't thank your guides, and also it's a thing with the ego thing as well. Some people, some mediums, and Tony, Jean and I know quite a few of them, but I'm not mentioning no names,
Nope.
who will have this great big ego and think, oh yeah, I'm the big I am, I can do this. And spirit can give you with your right hand, but then they'll take it away with the left, because the ego and the everything else, oh look at me, I can do this. We can all do it. It's just that some of us want to do it, others just dabble, and that's no disrespect to anybody. But you know, it's not, I would say it's a fine line. But everything when I was with my Michael, when I was with Michael before, no, I don't mean Tony's Michael, I mean my mentor Michael. When I was with him from the middle 80s right the way through until he passed away. And he was a wonderful teacher. And when I lost him, I was lost. Even though I'd made lots of friends, I'd just started on rostrum with him, and we'd been together a bit like I started out with Jean and Tony. And because I'd lost him, I thought, I can't do this. And I lost my confidence. I really did. And then I walked into the circle that Jean was holding, met Tony and Michael, and Jean was a little bit iffy at first when Tony said, can we bring Irene on board? And she said, well, do we, but, I understand that. I do totally. But then I started working, and here I am.
Yeah.
So, all right,
and
let me
it's
just
been
go
a
back.
few years now.
It has about 4 or 5 years now, hasn't it, lovely?
Yeah,
let me go back to Sophie. Sophie, there is one at Ingermells, I know, because I go and do it when the physical churches are on. There is a church in Ingermells, and it's held in the library on the corner. I can't remember the name of the car park, but it's you go through there's a pub at the front, and there's the library at the back, and it's a beautiful big hall. And that's at Ingerbell, sweetheart. So when they're open, I will let you know, Sophie, and then you will be able to go. And they're a lovely, lovely group. There used to be one at Mablethorpe, but unfortunately, Marion, who did the bookings, she has passed away. And Janet, who actually runs it, had a stroke about a year ago. So we think that is going to be closed now. And there's also one in Cleethorpes, but I can't remember where that is. And there's one in Grimsby as well.
The Mablethorpe one was lovely.
Oh, it was. Janet and Marion, they made it. They were so funny, weren't they?
Oh, it was lovely. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. But no, there'll be centres and things around. So just keep looking, Paul, and try the one local to you. It's an independent one, so give it a go. I've just been Googling it to see, but I don't know who runs it.
If it doesn't feel right, Paul, find something else.
Yeah.
I know that there's quite a few down there. I tried the Sleaford one and I didn't click it with the people there. Sleaford. I've done Sleaford. That's a nice little church. Yeah, this is and
they
I know
do
there's
mediumship on a Wednesday twice monthly. The one near Paul.
Yeah, well, there you go, Paul. So you could go there, and don't think just because you sit right at the back with your head down and don't say anything that spirit won't get you, because your Lynn will get you anywhere.
I'm surprised she hasn't tried to. Might have haven't opened up to spirit properly. So
no, I haven't. I just said my opening prayers and that, because I thought I didn't feel we was going to do a service today. I felt like it was going to be a Q&A. If you've got any more questions for me, I am quite happy to answer them. If you want to know more about my journey, but
You will. It'll be your own anxieties, Paul. Don't worry about it. Paul says he's talked to the lady. She seems lovely. He'll be worrying
Oh,
about nothing. That's so true.
absolutely. You'll find that most churches will welcome you with open arms, because they do what we do. They're mediums and they love to do things, don't they?
Happy birthday. Happy
Who's that?
birthday, Royden. I've just
Oh,
put it up on screen. Royden, happy birthday.
oh, happy birthday, darling.
30. Oh, you're
Oh,
older than me. I'm only
oh,
25.
oh, and I'm only 27, so you know.
Yeah.
Oh dear. I know what I know now. Yeah, I'd be rich. Suzanne, will
Um,
you still be doing these? I'm quite
oh,
happy just.
yes.
Oh yes. Once we start the physical services, we might have to change things around a little bit because Tony, Jean, and I all know that the one night of the week that is very, very popular and always got full diaries for is Sunday night's divine service.
Yeah.
But we can always do a divine service on here on a Monday, or but whatever we're doing, we will keep you informed. Tony will
Yeah.
let you know. He's got. I don't think he's got my diary yet, but he will have once we link in.
Yeah.
And then we'll see where we're going and who we're working with. But these will carry on 2 or 3 times a week,
Oh, yes.
or
Yeah.
as often as you want them. We are here to do that for you because I enjoy it. Tony enjoys it, and I know that Jean does. And at the moment,
Oh, she
Jean
does.
needs all the enjoyment that she can get because of she's not very well again, bless her. But I
No.
know how she loves doing a spiritual work, same as what I do.
Yeah. We are going to
Friends,
be looking at photos when I am starting to feel better in myself, but I just don't want to push it. And another photo services really do take a lot out of me personally. I don't know about Jean
April,
and Irie,
end of
but
April. Yeah, they're
probably
very
towards the end of
tiring.
April they are, because they're a longer service and the
Yeah,
energy just feels different. So probably
yeah.
towards the end of April. So beginning of April, I'll shout out for photographs. I've got a couple left from last time that I've been sent, but we'll do a shout out for photographs and we'll start afresh.
Royden says, "Are we familiar with omniism? Whatever it
I'm
is."
not Royden, no, but I
Oh,
will
I don't.
Google it and have a look at it.
Never heard of it.
But
Never heard of it. But I
well, it
don't know.
seems to be slowing down.
I just love
So
my journey.
yes,
Absolutely love my journey. And if anybody wants to get into this, we have advice on how to do that. And I know that Jean said it yesterday on their chat, and I will repeat. If you want to come into this, do not ever do it on your own,
no.
because there is so many things that can go wrong. There are things can there's so many things that you don't understand. I mean, I'm starting to teach with Jean now, and I know that Tony's starting to teach as well. And we always say, if you're in a circle, you have to. We as the teachers, if you like, we have to have our eyes open, because when we're doing the opening and closing, if we do a little bit of meditation, some people can go really deep, and we have to sit and gently and quietly talk to them to keep them from going really deep
Yeah.
into trance, because that's a whole different level.
I've sort of done trance, and it is
Yeah,
something I would like to explore. But again, I will have to find somebody I trust to help me with it, because it's something I don't know and I don't want to start doing it on my own. So I want to find somebody that will help me with the trance mediumship. And if people don't know what trance is, it's where you go that deep that spirit actually take over, and they use your voice and everything. Michael has conversations with people when I go deep asleep. People come through and start talking through me, and Michael's had conversations with them. but my goal is to learn it properly. So again, like we would say to anybody, I want to find somebody to help me with it who can take me through it properly.
Yeah,
And the
you need a proper
photographs,
trance teacher, don't you, Tony? A
you
proper
do,
trance teacher.
because and you need somebody who can anchor you here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah,
When it's done and done well, it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. I have tried it and it's not for me, but that is a personal thing. But I have seen it done. I've seen it done badly and I've seen it done well. And what they used to do with the lady that I saw, she had her mum who was also a trance medium, so she had the ideal person. And they used to take her, and they used to let the spirit speak to her, use her voice and her body to do the readings. But they always brought her back in the fetal position, and they always brought her back blind. And you have to have that somebody there to actually make sure that you come back, but you have to be brought back gently. You can't just flick a light on and say wake up. It doesn't work like that.
No,
it's very, very, and it's also very, very tiring. It takes all of your energies. I haven't gone into it as far as Tony has, but I have tried it and it is not for me. Absolutely not for me. But I will support Tony if he wants to do it and do everything that I can to help him.
Steve Newton. Oh, John, I'll have a look at that.
Oh, right.
But okay, I think we've been called to time. So thank you everybody for watching. Thank you, John. John is a wonderful medium. He's on at Littleport tonight.
All right. Okay.
So
hi, John. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you.
If anybody has a little bit of time free, there's two things you could do tonight. You could join myself and Michael and the Rainbow Project for our talk on type 2 diabetes, or you could tune in to Littleport and see John do his demonstration of mediumship. He's a wonderful medium. He's done a chat for us and a bit of a demonstration for me of mediumship as well. Lovely and a really, really nice guy. It's 7:40. Yeah, Michael's just put it up. 7:40 tonight at Littleport, and I think we're on at 6 tonight with the Rainbow Project. That'll be on my feed and the Rainbow Project's feed.
And I agree with Pam Duffy. Where does the time go? Because I could see her for another hour.
I could, but I'm starving, so I'm going to have to go and get some food and some medication.
Yeah.
What night are we? We're Thursday, aren't we?
Yes. We're on tomorrow night, aren't we?
Tomorrow night we have at 7 o'clock. We have our service.
Friday evening service.
It's 2:15 here in the afternoon, Royden. 12:15 a.m. Wow.
Yeah.
That is so late.
Where is Royden, Australia?
He's Australia, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, tomorrow we have our service. Then Sunday we will have our divine service. Tuesday we will be doing a chat for the Rainbow Project about families and support networks and things within the LGBTQ plus community. So if you're interested, pop along. Again, that'll be on my feed as well. Then that'll take us to Friday again.
Friday, yeah.
Friday, yeah. So thank you, everybody. It's been lovely. I've really enjoyed it. Thank you, Irene, for being so open. And thank you to everybody who shared all of their private things on the feed.
Yes.
And like we've always said, if you need anything, private message, and one of us will get back to you. But please don't sit and feel like you're on your own.
And if you need to ask me any more questions, that's fine too. You know,
pop them into the chat tomorrow, even, because it's your service, so we will do what you need to do. He's just John Ennis has just said, "I'm just an old bald-headed good bloke." Oh no, you're not. No, you're not.
No.
Well, thank you all. Thank you for sharing, and God bless you. And we will close in prayer. Irene, would you like to do the closing prayer?
I will. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Please stay safe. Could we bow our heads, please, friends? Dear Lord, Divine Father, thank you so much for this wonderful afternoon service and this wonderful chat with. I have really enjoyed it. And once again, I respectfully thank you, our guides, our helpers, and our families, friends, and our animals for joining us from spirit. Also to our earth families and to this wonderful congregation, we thank you so much for all your support and all the love that you bring to us. Because without you, we couldn't do what we do. Could I please send healing out around the world? You know where it's needed most, Lord, and a special healing for our Jean, and of course keep our Tony safe as well. And until we meet again, may a guardian angel walk with you. Amen.
Amen. Oh, what a lovely prayer. Thank you.
You're very
thank you,
welcome.
everybody. It's been a real pleasure to.
Yeah, I agree.
We will talk to you all soon. God bless.
Yes. See you tomorrow. Good night. God bless. Bye-bye. Good afternoon. I'm at it again.